The first time I saw my husband's mistress, she was standing in my kitchen wearing my robe. She smiled like she belonged there. My husband, Ethan, didn't even look embarrassed. Instead, he handed me a stack of papers and said something that shattered 15 years of marriage. "Sign these, Claire. The house isn't yours anymore." I stared at the documents. My name was nowhere on them. The home I had paid for. The home I had built. The home where our daughter took her first steps. Transferred. Legally. To his mistress. Ethan thought he had already won. What he didn't know was that 3 years earlier, I had quietly become the majority owner of the bank that financed every business he had. And by the end of that month, he would discover exactly what happens when you try to steal from the wrong woman. For 15 years, Claire and Ethan Carter looked like the perfect American couple. They lived in a beautiful neighborhood outside Chicago. Ethan owned a growing construction company. Claire worked in finance. They had a 14-year-old daughter named Lily. From the outside, everything looked perfect. Inside, cracks had already started forming. Ethan traveled constantly. Business dinners, conferences, weekend meetings. Claire noticed the distance. But she trusted him. Trust was the foundation of marriage. At least that's what she believed. Until one Tuesday afternoon, the day everything collapsed. Claire left work early because of a migraine. She entered her house quietly, then heard laughter upstairs. A woman's laughter. Not Lily's. Not a friend's. A stranger's. Claire climbed the stairs. Each step heavier than the last. The bedroom door was open. And there he was, Ethan, in their bed, with another woman. For a moment nobody moved. The mistress looked terrified. Ethan looked annoyed. Not guilty, annoyed. As if Claire had interrupted him. That reaction hurt more than the cheating. Most affairs end with apologies, excuses, begging. Ethan offered none. Instead, he sat at the kitchen table and calmly explained his plan. He wanted a divorce. He wanted custody. He wanted the house. And he wanted Claire gone. His confidence felt strange. Almost rehearsed. Like he knew something she didn't. Then he slid the paperwork across the table. Claire's stomach dropped. The house ownership records had changed. Months earlier, someone had forged signatures. Assets had been moved. Properties transferred. Accounts emptied. Claire couldn't understand how. Until she saw one familiar name. Her husband's lawyer. A man she had trusted for years. The betrayal was bigger than she imagined. Claire hired an independent investigator. Within 2 weeks she discovered something horrifying. The mistress wasn't random. Her name was Vanessa. She had been involved for almost 3 years. Even worse, Vanessa worked inside Ethan's company. And together they had been moving money through shell corporations. Millions. Not thousands. Millions. The affair wasn't the secret. The theft was. Suddenly Claire realized the divorce wasn't about love. It was about eliminating the one person who could expose them. Ethan believed Claire was just an employee at a financial firm. That's what everyone thought. Even some relatives. But 3 years earlier Claire's father had passed away. Most people assumed she inherited a modest amount. They were wrong. Her father had owned a controlling interest in a regional bank. After his death, that ownership transferred to Claire. Quietly, privately. She never told Ethan. Not because she was hiding it. Because he never cared enough to ask. Now that decision would save her. Claire asked the bank's compliance team to review Ethan's companies. The results shocked everyone. Construction loans. Equipment loans. Property loans. Lines of credit. Everything depended on the bank. Everything. If the fraud allegations became official, every lender would review their relationship. And that's exactly what happened. One investigation triggered another. Then another. Then another. The empire Ethan bragged about for years suddenly looked fragile. Very fragile. Just when Claire thought things couldn't get worse, her sister called. Emily. Her best friend growing up. The person she trusted most. Emily asked to meet. She seemed nervous. guilty. Then she confessed. She had known about Vanessa. For over a year. Claire felt physically sick. You knew, Emily cried. I didn't know how to tell you. But the damage was done. Claire lost her husband. Now she felt she had lost her sister too. Days later another truth emerged. Emily hadn't simply known. She had helped hide the affair. She covered for Ethan, lied to Claire, created fake stories, fake business trips, fake emergencies, everything. Claire stopped answering her calls. Some betrayals cut too deep. Investigations intensified. Investors withdrew. Contracts disappeared. Vendors demanded payment. Employees started quitting. Ethan blamed everyone. The economy, the government, competitors, never himself. Vanessa remained by his side. First, until the money started disappearing. Then she changed. The luxury vacations stopped. The gifts stopped. The expensive lifestyle stopped. And suddenly so did her loyalty. One morning Ethan woke up to discover Vanessa was gone. Along with hundreds of thousands of dollars. Several luxury watches, jewelry, and confidential company files. The woman he destroyed his family for had robbed him. Exactly as he had robbed others. For the first time, Ethan experienced betrayal from the other side. 6 months later Ethan looked like a different man. His company filed bankruptcy. His reputation collapsed. Friends vanished. Vanessa disappeared. His lawyer faced legal consequences. The mansion was sold. Cars were gone. Everything. One rainy evening he appeared outside Claire's office. Older. Exhausted. Defeated. For a moment Claire barely recognized him. Then he asked the question she never expected. Can you help me? Claire looked at the man who once tried to erase her. The man who stole from her. Lied to her. Humiliated her. Destroyed their family. And she realized something. She no longer hated him. Hate requires energy. She simply didn't care anymore. That was the moment she knew she had truly won. Not because he lost everything. Because she had survived everything. A year later Claire opened a financial literacy foundation for women recovering from divorce and financial abuse. Hundreds attended. Then thousands. She turned her pain into purpose. Lily graduated high school with honors. Emily spent years rebuilding trust. Slowly, patiently. Not all relationships heal overnight. As for Ethan, he started over in a small apartment across town. No mansion. No luxury cars. No mistress. Just consequences. One afternoon he attended a public event hosted by Claire's foundation. Their eyes met briefly. Neither spoke. Neither needed to. Because some endings don't require revenge. They require justice. And justice had finally arrived. The end.